think about a child, think when you were young, and obviously you didn't know what you were doing, but you were doing some things. So you are playing with a toy, you are playing with things, you are discovering things, you are smashing into cakes, and suddenly someone comes and tells you that, dude, don't do this, this is not right, this is not right, this is not right. Did you really care? Did you care? No, right? Because you are enjoying that. So you didn't care if someone judged you when you were young. So why don't you do the same when you grow up? Why don't you do the same? Why are you so obsessed with the fact that you want to do this because people will say that? You want to do this because people will say that. So I think you got the context of it. And this is precisely where science chips in. That whenever a person wants to discover the world, wants to discover whatever things is around him, everyone, like, I remember ever since my 8th standard, like every year, like on an average, people used to come like, ये क्यों कर रहे हैं? ये क्यों कर रहा है? इससे कुछ नहीं होएगा, ये नहीं मिलेगा, फिर तू जॉब क्या करेगा? And I was like, what the fuck, I'm not doing this. I'm going to do what I want to do, whether or not it leads me anywhere. So be like a child. Be like a child, discover what you want to do, and then you'll already find things which you didn't want it to. Or you didn't want to find it, but you still find it. You want to find it and you don't find it. So there are two approaches. So I'll not get into those things now. I'll start with the talk. So the title is Infinite Wonders, One Universe. So we all know that the universe is full of things. It's full of stuff, it's full of nature, there are forces of nature, there are humans, there are planets, there are stars, there are galaxies. Everything is fine. But I'll start off with depressing things, because I like that. So, here's a quote straight out of Carl Sagan, a popular scientist, and he was amazing with the Cosmos series. He said, every kid starts out as a natural born scientist. And for Amoy, yes, artists too. So, and then we beat it out of them. A few trickle through the system with their wonder and enthusiasm for science intact. So don't you think this is the case with all of you? Can you relate to this? Yeah. So, the thing is, the world doesn't want you to be good. That's the final statement of this. And you have to beat it out of them. So, I'll start off with another depressing thing. And that's this. We fail in even the simplest of all scientific observations. Nobody looks up anymore. How many of you do? Not looking up in the sky to the stars. Okay. Okay, fine. So, when you were a kid and when you looked up at the stars for the first time, didn't you like wonder in awe, what is that? What is that? What is that? Why don't you do the same now? You are still a kid at your heart. You are still a kid at your mind. You have just lost that. And I'm seeing this 21st century going on. People going to jobs. People becoming engineers and doctors if you take science. People doing commerce and everything. But nobody is focusing on enjoying life. And when you enjoy life more, you know when you do science that you understand yourself. You understand what the universe is about. You understand it doesn't freaking matter what you do in life, because the universe is very big. It's very, very big and you are very, very small. Get over that fact and do whatever you like. Because nobody is going to judge you in the end. So, this is, which cartoon is this? Okay, I'm focusing on the content. So, if people sat outside and looked at the stars each night, I bet they'd live a lot differently. So how so? Well, when you look into infinity, you realize that there are more important things than you do all day. So, isn't that right? So, why are we being very formal when on Earth? Like the universe isn't formal. Like you jump out of the window, and it's not going to give you a whole list of people you have to meet and do how you have to behave when you fall. You just fall. So, if the universe is not formal, it is behaving like it is, why are you being so formal? Why are you being so obsessed with stuff where ये ऐसे ही होना चाहिए, ये ऐसे नहीं किया तो ये मेरे को मार डालेगा, ये ऐसे नहीं किया तो ये काट डालेगा. So why are we being so formal about stuff? Why can't we just do stuff? So just behave like you want to, Go enjoy the world, you will get your morals, you will get your life satisfaction, you will get everything. So, speaking of casuality, be casual. You can see I have slippers on. I don't really care. So, you have to be casual. You will be loved for your mind, not for your body. So, now I'll get out of this. I start away when I talk about people doing stuff. So, I'll get out of this and tell you that what happens when you do this. Because there were some nutty idiots who dared to do this. They were adorable kids, they were arrogant kids, and they dared to do this throughout the generation of humans. When I say kids, I mean kids in the human lifespan. So we are like 1 lakh years old, the Homo sapiens. So when some of the adorable kids did all this, they looked up at the stars, they just wondered, and you know, at the end of this, I'll tell you how this all loops back to everything. Yeah, so what happened is, when you look up at the stars, when you expand your reach, it's like you're in India, you're talking Hindi or English or Gujarati, because there are mostly Gujaratis here. So, whatever, but when you go to Japan, you need to learn a new language, right? So you expand your eyes, you expand your tongue, so as to say. In this sense, in the sense of the universe, what we see is just a small part of the light spectrum. We only see invisible light. The electromagnetic spectrum is far bigger. So you can have better eyes, theoretically speaking. So we did just that. Some of the kids made better eyes. They saw the universe in other colors. And what they got after combining everything was that I'll tell you, I'm sure many of you know this, but still, when I say this again, take the whole perspective and imagine it literally. You are living on a planet, you are very, 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 very tiny, and you live just 80 years or so max. Then that planet is just one of the planets around the sun in the solar system. And the sun which we are orbiting is 3 lakh times bigger than the earth. And there are such 200 billion suns alone in our galaxy. And there are such 100 billion galaxies. Can you, like, for some 5 seconds, give it a thought, give it an imagination boost. I know it's impossible to imagine that size, but try it so you get the idea of what I'm talking about. That it seriously doesn't matter what you do in life unless you enjoy it. No one is going to judge you. The universe is not going to judge you like in any way. So it doesn't matter. In this galaxy, we are somewhere here, a small star. I can't even show it because the scale is too large for the sun. And so here is the sun. We are revolving. We are doing all the same things in the universe we do all day. But we humans are obsessed by other things, unlike the universe. So we should remember firstly that we are very, 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 very small. And I'm emphasizing that because it's literally true. And how many times, if I say this throughout the lifetime of the universe, that would still be an understatement. So yeah, this is just the size comparison for boosting your imagination further. So there's the Earth. Yeah, so you can imagine, like, maybe some gamma ray burst will come tomorrow and wipe away the whole Earth. It literally won't matter. So yeah, next. Okay, now I'll be a little bit positive. I'll show you how we are very small, yet we are very significant. So that's the beauty of the universe. So I'll show you that. Now, after we found out this whole big goddamn universe, like with hundreds and billions of galaxies and 200 billion stars in each of them, etc., etc., we thought, how is this working? This all must be working under one framework. So everything should have a certain logic to it. At least that's the idea of it. So you have certain framework, and that framework is called physics. And along with maths, they both did research, and it carried on for like 400 years. It is still on ever since the advent of Galileo, and they have finally figured out in 400 years. That's the blink of an eye in the cosmic lifetime. The universe is 13.7 billion years old, and it's been only 400 years. It took 400 years for us to figure it out after we started it on purpose. So that's really a short time. If we can figure out how large is the universe, where it is going, where we are in it, In 400 years, imagine what you can do when we be casual about things every day and do what you love. You can make wonders, you can change the universe also. Yeah, that's a big statement for physics people, but yeah, it will happen. This is a quote from Richard Feynman. How many of you know Richard Feynman? Okay, so he was a lovely guy, girls liked him too, and he was a physicist and charming character. He said the same thing in a much better way, which I am telling right now, that just love what you do. Love is more important. Loving what you do is more important. So this is a quote, I, a universe of atoms. You are a universe of atoms thinking stuff. Everyone is unique, an atom in the universe. So I don't know, it takes time to contemplate the depth of this statement. Keep it as your wallpaper and you'll see new things every day. So the best definition I found out for physics after all this jazz, after learning physics all these years, I am still a baby in that, but I have tried to get the essence, and this is what I get. Physics is nature expressing itself. So that's the only definition I can see fit right now. So I could have taken my time to teach you physics, but then no, that it's like nothing, 20 minutes. Okay, so now if physics is the universe and we humans try to understand physics, then what would it be like? So Michio Kaku, the guy Abhishek spoke about, physicists are made up of atoms. A physicist is an attempt by an atom to understand itself. So that's as deep as anything can get. Yeah. So that's the beauty of it. See, when you're listening to this talk, and if you are imagining things like I'm asking you to, you are in wonder of things which you never asked throughout your life probably. Don't you think you enjoyed this 10 minutes or whatever your imagination? You enjoyed your 10 minutes of imagination more than anything else you did, just for the sake of doing that. So wouldn't it be lovely doing this for the whole lifetime, which is again nothing in the universe, it won't matter, but still. Like, so yeah, I switch between ideas, it's okay. So yeah, one more thing we got after studying this whole jazz of physics 400 years, the best revelation that science has given us till date is this, that stars die so you could live. It's exactly the opposite thing of what Bollywood movies say. Bollywood movies say this crap and you die and become a star. No, you idiot, it's the opposite. So, the thing is, I'll not get into the life cycle of a star, that would be like another lecture. But yeah, I'll tell you this, stars explode and give out more complex atoms than it could produce on its own. The universe can only produce certain atoms on its own, but for it to make complex atoms like gold, it needs to burst out. The star needs to burst. So when the star goes boom, it is called a supernova and it produces the elements required for your life. So the calcium in your bones, the oxygen that you breathe, then the iron in your blood, the gold which you wear, especially girls, and nitrogen, the nitrogen in your body, everything came from stars. So isn't this a soaring spiritual experience? If you want to find good, what you say, motivational stuff and yet be real, then that's really hard for a physicist, but yeah. So this is it. So I just told you that you are very, very, very small, infinitesimally small, yet you are important. Because the universe worked out 13.7 billion years of physics to make you. So it takes time to do stuff. The laws of physics worked out perfectly well, if you want to take that approach, to make you you. And then only humans could have the ability to understand the universe back. So it's like nature is creating humans and it is understanding how it created humans. So it's a loop, you can get out of it, we'll discuss that afterwards. And so you are very important, that without the universe, without you, without the universe there won't be you, of course. But without you, the universe wouldn't know it is existing. It would exist, but you don't know that. So I'll make you big all of a sudden. So I look up at the night sky and I know that yes, we are a part of this universe, we are in this universe, but perhaps more important than both of these facts is that the universe is in us, no, not in the literal sense. So yeah, when I reflect on that fact, I look up. Many people feel small. Don't you feel small when you look at this, contemplate this huge size of the universe? Because they are small. So let's be objective here. And the universe is big. It's huge. Like I think, for just a side note, for the universe, I have been, in my last 5 years, I have been dealing with extraordinarily high ideas that I think you need to invent more words for it. Saying big isn't good enough for the universe. I think it deserves a better new word. And the universe is big, but I feel big because my atoms came from those stars. So now, do you feel big?
Yes.
Really? Yeah, do you follow me? Okay. Yeah, so now physics and biology says that there is nothing special about life. I'm sorry for stealing that big again. But yeah, so there is nothing special about life. It is made up of the same things the universe is made up of. So it's just one possibility of the universe. And after studying 400 years and studying exoplanets and everything, we have come to a conclusion that in our galaxy alone, there might be 100 million planets that can have life. 100 million planets, and that's just one galaxy. And multiply it with the 100 billion galaxies which we have. So 100 billion into 100 million, that's the minimum amount of planets that might have life. So don't you think that the ultimate purpose of the universe is to have life so that it can know itself? So the cosmos is full of life. At least it should be. Like if we go wrong with that prediction, we are screwed. So if the universe is a pretty big place, if it's just us, it seems like an awful waste of space. Obviously I want to find other people living on the planet, because frankly I'm done with these people. Yeah. So if the universe is full of life, don't you think the universe is life itself? Now don't take that literally, mind you. Please be on the perfect lines of objective and subjective. So yeah, the cosmos in some sense is life. If the universe is full of life, it knows itself. Even without life like us, the universe does know itself. But it doesn't know itself like we do know it knows itself. So yeah. So this is one quote I like, really like. Given enough time, hydrogen begins to wonder where it came from and where it is going. You know why hydrogen?
Sun.
Sorry?
The sun, it's made up of hydrogen, and through nuclear fusion it turns into helium and then gives it.
Right. Okay. Let's go back in time even before that. Let's go back in time. The Big Bang. The Big Bang, from where the universe started. The first atom in the periodic table is hydrogen. So the first element to be created after the Big Bang, just right after the Big Bang, was hydrogen. So basically you take from that perspective, forget the physics out, and then you have this statement that given enough time, hydrogen begins to wonder where it is going and where it came from. And I jump a little. So yeah. Next. So this is the conclusion. Feel free to put your picture in this. So you are an integration of hydrogen over time in 13.7 billion years. So isn't that awesome? So now think about this. When physics people and science people, so physics, biology, chemistry, awesome people, they started learning this 400 years ago with Galileo, and yeah, maths too. So when they started learning everything like 400 years ago, they didn't really have a plan. They didn't want to know how the universe is. They didn't want to believe how the universe is. They just said like, I'll just observe things, I'll research, and whatever comes, it will be beautiful. And it was beautiful. So this is the revelation of science given to you after 400 years. So next time you say science is creepy, better think about that, because you are saying yourself creepy.
Yes.
So yeah, I think I have mentioned this in one way, but yeah, it's a good dialogue. It's like the universe screams in your face. Do you know what I am? How grand I am? What are you compared to me? And when you know enough science, you can just smile up and say, dude, I'm you. So yeah, I think I repeated this again and again to give you that feeling which I've been having. So yeah, but there's one thing, physics is not linear exponential growth. It's pathetic in one sense, that if you are really stunned on understanding the universe, then you are bound to get many obstacles. So this is a graph of how much the universe makes sense to science and how the physics knowledge goes. Why physics? Because biology and chemistry are also based on physics. So if anyone has a doubt on that. So physics knowledge, it increases with time. Obviously it cannot decrease, information can never decrease. And how much the universe makes sense. So Newton came along, he gave the theory of gravity, classical mechanics and everything, the one-shot guy. So the universe made complete sense after Newton's work. Fabulous work. Every bit of engineering done on this planet right now is because of that man. So it all made sense. Then suddenly something comes along, like relativity and quantum mechanics come along, and the universe continues to behave strangely like before, and nothing makes sense, like nothing. It's like the universe doesn't want you to make sense of it. So this is a very big obstacle, and we face it almost like every 100 years. So I don't know how much it meant to you, but if you can relate to this, it's nice. Yeah, so the universe plays with you, you play back. So this is a quote by Werner Heisenberg, one of the famous quantum physicists, and he had one principle which has all the scientists scratching their heads on. So not only is the universe stranger than we think, it is stranger than we can think. Think about that. Next. Yeah, so before you read this, now just reflect back. What I started with, looking at the stars, right? So you look at the stars, you don't have any motto, you don't have any agenda. You just look at the stars, you wonder, and go wherever it takes you, on a human scale, on a big scale. And just by doing that, suddenly you realize that you have figured out the whole universe. You have figured out who you are. You have figured out how you came from, how you came to be, how did the universe come about. So every single important question you had came about this. So I don't think that science is only a cumulative understanding of things. It is also the emotional aspect of things. It gives you things to wonder at. It gives you importance. It doesn't give you importance at the same time. It tells you what is right to do. So, and the smartest fact of all, the best fact I love to say every time, is that when you look up at the stars, you're looking back in time. And that's literally. So when you look to the stars, you're looking at it, how it was looking so X and Y years old. So you look into the past literally. I don't know why it doesn't bring the awe in you, in the mind. Okay, fine. So it's like, take any galaxy, for example, like this one. This is say 65 million light years away. So when you look to that galaxy from your telescope, you're looking back 65 million years in time. That's freaking awesome. Like looking back in time, that's the dream. So telescope is like a time machine, only it looks in past. So not the future. But yeah, so that's like a time machine. So you are a human, you are present right now 13.7 billion years after the Big Bang. You look back in time, you figure out everything, you create the process in your head that gave rise to you, the Big Bang, and you start the process again and you come to yourself again. So isn't that wonderful? Thank you.